All right, hello baseball fans. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. And it's been a while, but we are back with the Fergie Jenkins 1969 payoff pitch replay. And start number 26, the Dodgers come to Wrigley to take on Fergie and the Cubs. And currently at this point in real life, Fergie entered this game with a record of 13-7, 2.69 ERA. In our replay, he is 17-5, a 1.93 ERA. Has pitched 200 innings compared to 194 in real life. Has 173 strikeouts compared to 168 in real life. And in this game played on July 25th, 1969, the Dodgers, behind the pitching of Claude Osteen, came up victorious 4-2. And entering this game in real life, when Fergie took the hill, the Cubs had a record of 16-9, and in the replay thus far, 18-7. So a couple of games better as they push to retain or overtake the Mets at the end of the season and make it to the 1969 playoffs and possibly World Series. So our lineups for this one for the Dodgers: Maury Wills leads off at short, Willie Crawford in left, Willie Davis in center, Len Gabrielson in right, Tom Haller behind the dish, Bill Sudakis at third, Wes Parker at first, Ted Sizemore at second, and again Claude Osteen on the mound. And Cubbies, the same old lineup: Don Kessinger at short, Glenn Becker at second, sweet swinging Billy Williams in left, Ron Santo at third, Ernie Banks at first, Jim Hickman in right, Randy Hundley behind the dish, Don Young in center, and of course our centerpiece of the replay, Fergie Jenkins on the mound for the Cubs. I'm testing out, I picked up a external webcam hooked to my laptop to be able to stream live again. And this will be also a test of that. Thus far, so good. So, excuse me, let's play ball. Maury Wills leads it off for the Dodgers. And 10, Fergie, that's going to be in play, and 37 off of Maury Wills' card. And that is going to be a ground ball down to first base, one down. So 3 unassisted for Ernie Banks, and that brings up Willie Crawford, a left-hander. And 8, going to be tough. 84, not going to be a strikeout, but that will be an out. A fly ball to, I'd say ground ball to second base. So 4-3 on the put out, Beckert to Banks. 2 quick outs for Fergie. And next up we have Willie Davis, another left-hander. And 4, that's going to be ballpark. 91 in Wrigley will be in play, left-hander. And 10, and that is going to be a single for Willie Davis. So the Dodgers have their first hit of the day. And both pitchers have strong fatigue ratings. They can go into the 9th inning if needed. So 2 outs, 1 on, and Tom Haller, the catcher, comes up to the dish in play. And 86, and that's going to end the inning. I'm sorry, not Haller, Gabrielson. That's going to be another ground ball down to Becker. So the Dodgers get a hit. No runs, leave 1. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score in this one, and Don Kessinger set to lead it off for the Cubbies. So 6 for Claude Osteen, and that's going to be in play. 87 will be a ground ball down to shortstop. So Maury Wills, making his first appearance for the Dodgers in this replay, takes care of Kessinger. 1 down, Glenn Becker the batter. 8, and it's going to be tough. And 0-4, swing and miss. Osteen rings Beckert up, 2 down. So it's been kind of typical in this replay. We are potentially headed for another pitching duel. As sweet swinging Billy Williams steps in. 7 going to be in play, and 66, a ground ball down to short. So Wills takes care of 2 of the 3 Cubbies in this inning, and we are through 1. No score in this one. And we'll have some trivia, some dead ball trivia coming up in the 7th inning stretch as well. This one about the first use of a closer. So as Dodgers get things going in the top of the second, Tom Haller, and that's going to be tough. And 87 is going to be a ground ball down to second base. Beckert with the put out. So Beckert already responsible for 3 assists in this one as Bill Sudakis steps in. Dodgers third baseman and Al Red Sox fan. Happy Easter weekend to you as well, my friend. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Been a while for a payoff pitch, but had a couple of requests to get another game back up, so we're getting it a Fergie start here. 5, that is going to be Patient, and Sudakis is going to ground that down to shortstop. So Kessinger, 6-3 on the putout, 2 quick outs here in the second, and Wes Parker steps up for the Dodgers. And 9 on Fergie's card is going to be Tough, and 40 against Parker. Just misses a strikeout, and Parker fights that off. That's an opposite field single. So Dodgers have their second hit of the day. Hey Al, we'll talk about it at the end of this game, but I think we're going to debut Payoff Stevenson for Glory Days Boxing as we get ready for a release of the game. And opponent to be named. I think we all knew who that might be, though. So Fergie, Patient, pitching to Ted Sizemore, and 60 is going to be a ground ball down to second. So again, Dodgers get a hit, can't do anything with it, and Fergie gets out of the jam. Not really a jam, but gets out of the inning. 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Ron Santo, cleanoff hitter up for the Cubs, and 2 is going to be Patient, 46. And 46 is going to be a walk against the left-hander. So Cubbies have their first base runner here. That brings up the Mr. Cub himself, first baseman Ernie Banks. And yet another Patient result, and 41 against the left-hander. That is going to be a single. And guess what I forgot to do? I knew something was missing. I forgot to get the fast action cards for runner advancement. So that is going to be a sharp liner, drops in front of the left fielder. Runner on first advances 1 base. So Cubbies going station to station, or here in the bottom of the second. 2 runners on, nobody out, and that brings up Jim Hickman, Cubbies right fielder. And Ron, Fergie-licious indeed. Uncle Rod has joined the chat, Retro Sports Network, as well as D. Scott Howard. Welcome, guys. Very early in this one, shaping up to be another pitcher's duel. And again, check out those wonderful channels, Retro Sports Network, Uncle Ron's midday game of the week. And Al Red Sox fan has a variety of stuff, boxing, baseball, and of course the very well received chat with Al and friends. Are you doing one tonight, Al, by chance? But good stuff on those channels. Be sure to check them out. 8 to Hickman and Osteen. That's going to be Tough, and 98 going to be a fly ball to left field. Runners will hold 1 out as Osteen records the first out in this one. Brings up Randy Hundley. Hundley has had a really good replay. Probably, I believe, I'd have to check, but the Cubs' leading home run hitter in games Fergie has started. And we're going to have our first defensive check of the day. And defense, potential error check on third base. And third baseman Bill Sudakis is a 3. So 46 and a 3, and that is going to be an error. And for infield, a single base error. So sacks will be loaded here on the E5. And Cubbies on the verge of breaking through, 1 down. Osteen looking to get out of this. Don Young, the batter, 9, and that's going to be a tough out. So no matter what, Young is done, and that is going to be a strikeout. So Osteen rings up Young in a huge out. As that brings up the pitcher spot. Fergie actually has helped himself several times, however, so he's not an easy out. Decent hitting pitcher. Here comes the pitch. 7's going to be in play, and 60, and Osteen gets out of it. A ground ball down to second base. So 4-3 on the putout. Sizemore takes care of the pitcher, and the Cubbies load the bases, can't bring in a run. Heading to the top of the third inning, no score in this one, as Osteen will lead it off for the Dodgers here. I just had a notification in front of my screen, fixing that. All right, Osteen prepared to hit, and Fergie, that's going to be in play. Be a fly ball to left field. And coming over to take care of that is Billy Williams, one down. And the speedy Maury Wills back up, steps in. Here comes a pitch from Fergie, going to be tough, and 68 against the right-hander. That's a fly ball to center field, so 2 quick outs for Fergie and the Cubs here in the third. Willie Crawford, the batter. Hey guys, this is actually my new external webcam too. I just want to make sure the stream looks okay. It does on my laptop, but doesn't always translate, so just want to make sure that's clear for you. 11, and that is going to be a defensive check. So defensive check on that. That will be an error check on the pitcher. And Fergie is a 3. Roll of 90 is going to make the play. So 1-3 on the putout. 3 up, 3 down go the Dodgers here in the third. And we head to the bottom of the frame. Still no score on this one. And okay, looks fine. Looks great. Good. Thank you very much, guys. I was a little nervous about using after I got the new webcam. Some of the offline testing I had some issues, but glad it looks good. So Kessinger now leading off the third inning for the Cubbies, and 11, that's going to be a ballpark check, and 33 in Wrigley. We're going wheelhouse, folks, and Kessinger. Big rip on this one, and swings, 39. Going to be a ground ball down to first base, a harmless out. 3-1 on the putout there, 1 down. So Osteen grooved that one in. Kessinger could not take advantage of that. Brings up Glenn Beckert. And 6 going to be an in-play result. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. And ranging over to take care of that in the gap is Willie Davis. 2 down. Sweet swing at Billy Williams up. Williams, he can put the Cubs on the board in a hurry here. And going to be a ballpark check. 89 is going to be in play. And against the left-hander, it's going to be a fly ball to left field. So Osteen, after a rough second, bounces back to set the Cubs down in order in the third. We are through 3. No score in this one, and a typical 1969 pitcher's duel is brewing here as Fergie set to face Willie Davis. And 7 going to be in play. Davis, 56. Ground ball down to Kessinger, and 1 quick out. As Ernie Banks secures the putout, gets it back to Fergie for Len Gabrielson. And another in-play result. And Gabrielson, that is going to be against the right-hander, a single right back up the middle. So the Dodgers have their third hit in this one. And Fergie, he's only been giving up a shade under 7 hits a game in this replay. So ahead of pace for that right now. And now you hear Daisy in the background chirping. It's funny, as much as she barks when I do video, she is quiet 90% of the rest of the time. It's like she knows I'm recording and trolls me. Tom Holler, the catcher, up 7, and that's going to be in play. And 55 on the result there, and that's going to be a fly ball to left field. Billy Williams takes care of that, 2 outs. So Fergie giving up hits in 3 or 4 innings, but nobody's reached second base yet. And 11 going to be another defensive check, and this could be a bad one based on the roll. It's going to be an error check on the second baseman, Beckert, and Beckert is a 2. And 2 indeed, that is going to be an error. So infield error on that using the fast action card will be a single base error. So E4, first and second, as Beckert boots that. And Fergie's defense has been pretty solid behind him throughout this replay. So let's see if this costs him. 2 down, runners on first and second. And Ron says, can read the cards well. Excellent. And that's the thing I worried about. This webcam, this external webcam, a cheaper model, but it had good reviews. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to spend, I think, $35 on it, which is really pretty cheap for a webcam. And that was the one thing I was worried about, because it doesn't have autofocus. So that's what I was playing around with manually to make sure I got a good focus from the height I'm recording on. West Park, the batter 3 is going to be tough, and 71, Fergie grooves one in there, and it's going to be a harmless fly ball to center field. So the Dodgers, error does not come back to bite the Cubs. They go down in the top of the fourth. We head to the bottom of the frame. Still no score. Ron Santos set to lead this off. And for Osteen, that's going to be that dreaded tough out. And tough out indeed. The slider in on the fist. And Santo goes down on strikes. And again with this game, tough column, whenever that column is followed by a out, that means no matter what happens, the batter is out, whether it's a strikeout or you'll go to their column here and record the out. One of the cool features of this game, because it represents those pitchers who are really tough in certain situations. So Ernie Banks up and Mr. Cubby, and that's going to be a defensive check. So defense coming into play in this one, and it's going to be another error check on second base. And for the Cubbies, or the Dodgers, Sizemore is a 3. And roll of 36, and that's going to be an error. And I actually was flipping 2 cards for the error. I didn't need to. I can just use the same one. So second error there, and E4. Cubbies have a base runner as the Dodgers and Cubs both struggling a little bit in the field. Jim Hickman up, and Hickman, first time up, flew out to left field. Here comes a pitch. And 6 going to be in play, and Hickman 9. That is going to be a single. So sharp liner into center field, and runner on first advances 1. So again, going station to station, but the Cubbies threatening again. And it's the bottom of the order again. Randy Hundley up. And here comes a pitch from Osteen. That's going to be tough. 31. That does not bode well. And Hundley gets rung up. Second strikeout this inning. 2 down. As Osteen pitching hard inside. That is a really good price, Ron. I was real happy with the and apparently the quality is the reviews were as advertised. So yeah, happy with the purchase. Don Young, the batter, 2 outs, 2 on the pond, and 8. Osteen tough. Swing and a miss. So Osteen strikes out the side. There were an error and a single mixed in there, but Osteen pitched tough with runners in scoring position, and we're heading to the 5th. Still no score in this one. And D. Scott Howard, Sizemore, one of the Dodgers I got to watch play in A-ball in Kennewick, Washington, Tri-City Adams. It's really cool when, and that's one of the best things about doing these games. You just go back and see players, and for me, I didn't see any of these guys live except on TV. But you know, in the status pro advanced replay I'm doing, got to see some of those guys in the minors, either at or come through Salt Lake, AAA ball there, and the AAA team in Salt Lake was the Golds at the time. So yeah, always cool to have those things pop up. As we head to the top of the 5th inning, and Ted Sizemore set to lead it off against Fergie, and that's going to be tough, 50 against the right-hander. As Sizemore, fly ball into right field, and coming in to take care of that routine is going to be Jim Hickman. So 1 down, and pitcher spot up. Claude Osteen flew out to left his first time up. Here comes a pitch. Ballpark. Wheelhouse. Uh-oh. And actually, Osteen is a 10. He could get one out of here. Takes a big cut. And Osteen, 61, misses it, though. It's going to be a ground ball down to second base. So that would have been something if Osteen had taken Fergie deep and got the first run of the game. Doesn't happen, though. 2 outs. And here comes a pitch, and Fergie, 11. It's going to be another defensive check. And this is going to be an error check on the right fielder, and Hickman for the Cubbies is a 3, 51 on the die roll, and that's going to be another error. So 2 errors for each team. Again, I didn't need to flip a new card. So outfielder, that is actually going to be a deep fly. So we're actually going to go to the wheelhouse now. So here we go, and Wills, luckily it is not another batter, and that is going to be a harmless fly out. So Maury Wills goes down, 3 up, 3 down, go the Dodgers. And if that had happened in the meat of the order, we may have a 1-0 Dodger lead right now, but we don't. Hitting into the bottom of the 5th, Fergie Jenkins up. And 3 against Osteen. That's going to be a defensive check as well. Range check third base. And for the Dodgers, Bill Sudakis is a C, and that's going to be a base hit. So Sudakis can't get to that. And again, Fergie, as he has done time and again, gets on base. And back to the top of the order for the Cubbies. I'll have to go back and do his batting average, but I think Fergie's probably hitting around 230, 240 in the replay thus far, which is very good for a pitcher. And in play to Kessinger against the left-hander, that's going to be a pop fly. And going back behind second base to take that in is Ted Sizemore. So 1 down for the Cubbies. Both teams scratch and trying to get that first run across. And Phantomatic has joined the game. Welcome, my friend. Bottom of the 5th, 0-0, Osteen and Jenkins in a pitcher's duel. Going to be an in-play result. And 74, Becker, shallow fly ball into center field. Coming in to take care of that is Willie Davis. And 2 quick outs. Back to first goes Fergie. And team not able to pick him up as he helped himself here. 7's going to be in play. And sweet swinging Billy Williams. And that's going to be a double. This could get our first run of the game in as he drives that into the gap. Runners advance 2 bases, however, and Fergie has to hold up at third. So Osteen again has a chance to pitch his way out of this. 2 down, runners on second, third. Cleanup batter Ron Santo up. Osteen gets a sign, takes a deep breath, kicks, delivers, in play, and Santo is going to be a ground ball down to first base, and Osteen again pitches out of the inning, 3-1 on the putout. So 2 hits go to waste, and the Cubbies leave runners on second, third. We're heading to the 6th inning, still no score in this one. And it's shaping up to be a barn burner. Hopefully a good finish here as Jenkins set to face Willie Crawford. It's going to be in play, and Crawford drives that back up the middle, so the Dodgers have their leadoff runner on, and that is hit number 4 for the Dodgers as Willie Davis steps in. Left-hander stares Jenkins down. Here comes a pitch. 8, tough, swing and a miss. Struck him out. Fergie with the high heat, and that's a big strikeout. Len Gabrielson up now, and the Dodgers right fielder has singled and grounded out to second in this one thus far. 10 going to be in play, and that's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop, and 8. That is split on the double play rating, so we'll go to 2D10s, and going to be a fielder's choice. So Crawford is going to be erased at second base, and on at first is Gabrielson, 2 down now, and that brings up Tom Holler. And the Dodgers catcher today has flown out, grounded out to second base. Here comes a pitch, tough, and 60 against the right-hander. That's going to be a fly ball to left field. Sweet swinging Billy Williams. So I got this can of corn, and the side is retired. So leadoff hit and no damage. We are through 5.5. Still no score in this one. And Ernie Banks looking to start the Cubs on a rally here to break through. Here comes a pitch from Osteen, and not going to happen here. That is the dreaded tough out, and that's going to be a strikeout. Ernie Banks overmatched by the fastball. So 1 quick out here as Jim Hickman strides up to the plate. Cubbies right fielder's flown out and singled in this one, and again a tough result. Swing and a miss, and rung up again. So Osteen's got the K ball going. Dishing out bowls of Special K for breakfast to this Cubs lineup, and that is a total of 7 strikeouts for Claude now as Randy Hundley steps in. Struck out the side once already, and 10. That'll be a tough result, but that'll be a fly ball to left field. So Willie Crawford, routine play for him. 3 up, 3 down go to Cubs. We head to the 7th inning, and we're still looking for our first run in this one. Both pitchers, again, can pitch into the 9th with their fatigue ratings, so no issues there. As Bill Sudakis set to lead it off for the Dodgers. Jenkins gets assigned, kicks, delivers in play, and 54 will be a ground ball down to Santo at third. So 2-pitch ground out to start the 7th inning here. As Wes Parker steps in, Fergie gets assigned, kicks, delivers, patient, and Parker's going to draw the base on balls. That is Fergie's first in this game. So tiring perhaps, still no action in either bullpen though. They're riding the starters out here, 11. And we're going to go to the defense check again. And defense, that'll be a range check on shortstop. And Kessinger is a B, a roll of 30. And not able to get to that. That is going to be a base hit. And that's going to fall in, and runner on first is going to advance 2 bases. So a blooper just over Kessinger's head, and Dodgers have runners at the corners now. Pitcher spot coming up. And we want a pinch hit for Osteen. It's the 7th. He's pitching well. I think we're going to let him hit here. So Fergie would like to get a double play right now, 9. And that's going to be tough and just overpowers his opposing number. So 2 outs with a strikeout. Back to the top of the order, and fans will probably second guess that decision. But again, Osteen has only given up 4 hits to the Cubbies, has 7 strikeouts, so he's pitching a great game. And 12, Wheelhouse, 92. Wills, again, though, the wrong person to get it. It's going to be a harmless fly ball to left field as he gets under it. And Fergie pitches out of trouble. Runners at the corners. The Dodgers get a hit, leave 2 as we're heading to the 7th inning stretch, 0-0. Still looking for our first run. And a little dead ball trivia for our 7th inning stretch today. The first modern-day pitcher to record a double-figure saves in a season. First modern-day pitcher talking about from 1901 on to record double-figure saves in a season. And again, this was done retroactively when statisticians went back. And we'll pitch to a batter and see if anyone has a guess on that one. I'll give you a hint. It was an American League pitcher. As Don Young set to face off against Osteen, and going to be a tough out. And it'll be a ground ball down to shortstop. Maury Wills takes care of Young, and 1 quick out for the Cubbies. Fergie Jenkins, they're going to let him hit here. 3, a defensive check. And with the roll of 95, no matter what happens, that should be okay. Error check on the first baseman, and Wes Parker is a 5. That, folks, is as good as you can get. Takes care of that easily. 3 unassisted and 2 quick outs. And back to the top of the order. Johnny Murphy, no. A little bit before, dead ball. A little bit before that. Last clue with 2 outs as Kessinger steps up. He is a Hall of Fame pitcher and pitched on the Philadelphia Athletics. 11, and Osteen, that's going to be a ballpark check, but 60 against the left-hander will be in play. So Cubbies haven't had any wheelhouse chances. 97 is going to be a fly ball to left field, a harmless out. So Osteen still strong. He set down 7 Cubbies in a row now, 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. As we head to the top of the 8th, still looking for our first run in this one. And our 7th inning trivia answer is one of the first Native American ball players in the American League, Hall of Famer, and one of the bellwethers of Connie Mack's Philadelphia A's staff in the first 15 years of the 20th century. None other than Charles Albert Chief Bender. And doing retroactive save results in 1913, Connie Mack used Bender. Bender was notorious for kind of having a fragile arm. He had sore arm issues quite a bit in his career. So Connie Mack would start him in the tough games on the athletic schedules and then bring him in as a relief pitcher. I think Mack started a total of, I'm probably going to be wrong here, but it was close to maybe 9 or 10 different starters that year, which was kind of rare for that time period. And he would use his best pitchers, Bender and Eddie Plank, to come in and nail down close games when he started some of his lesser pitchers. So there you have it, the first modern-day pitcher officially credited with double-figure saves, Chief Bender. So Willie Crawford here set to get the 8th going. Fergie still looking good. And 6, tough, and 8, that's going to be an easy strikeout. No answer for the slider there for Crawford as he heads back to the dugout. And next batter is going to be Willie Davis. Davis today is 1 for 3, a single, ground out, and a strikeout. And 4 off of Fergie's card is going to be ballpark. That's going to be wheelhouse, and Davis can take it deep. Here comes a pitch, a swing, 33. It is going, it is gone over the right field wall. The Dodgers, a solo blast by Willie Davis, and they have taken the lead 1-0 as Fergie hangs his head. And that just got over the wall out in right field. So we have our first run of the ball game. Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. And that brings up Len Gabrielson. And again, they won this game 4-2 in real life. And quick shout out. One of my favorite parts about, I love this game, period, but one of my favorite parts is that wheelhouse check. It's kind of just like the dramatic extra roll there you do to see if they get a home run. To me, it's definitely one of the best features of any tabletop baseball game out there. So back to the game, Gabrielson, a defensive check again. Been a lot of that today, and that's going to be a range check on Kessinger, the shortstop. Kessinger has a range of B and roll of 45, and he's going to get to that. Makes a nice play. Just nips Gabrielson at first, 6-3 on the putout, so 2 down as Fergie looking to get out of this. Tom Haller, the batter. Here comes a pitch, 9, tough, and Haller, swing and miss. Fergie, angry, overpowers him. 2 strikeouts in this inning, but the big blow, a blast into the right field bleachers by Willie Davis, has plated our first run, and the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Osteen's going to see if he can ride this out, get the complete game victory. Stepping up, Glenn Beckert. Here comes a pitch from Osteen, and 5, patient, and Beckert's going to wait him out, draw the base on ball. So the Cubbies in business here in the 8th. As they often do, looking to bounce back. Sweet swinging Billy Williams, the batter. And 10 to Osteen, tough, 59, and sweet swinging Billy Williams can't get a hold of that. It's going to be a harmless fly ball into shallow left field. Crawford takes care of that, 1 down for Ron Santo. Santo's got the big stick, 11 ballpark, and 38 against the left-hander. That's wheelhouse. So Santo gets into this one. It's deep. It's going, and it is off the top of the wall, a double. This could tie our ball game. And deep drive into center field. 1 hops the wall. Runners advance 2 bases. No. So Beckert stuck at third base, and the fans booing thought he maybe could have made it in. Still no action in the Dodgers bullpen. And actually now there is some stirring. Down there, it looks like Pete Mickelson is going to start loosening up. So runners on second, third, 1 out. Osteen needs a strikeout and a formidable foe at the plate, Ernie Banks. Here comes a pitch, 10, tough. Osteen gets him on the strikeout right down the center of the plate, freezes him. So Ernie Banks, chance to be the hero. Runners on second, third, strikes out, looking, 2 down. And that brings up Jim Hickman. Hickman today, again, 1 for 3, single fly out, strikeout. Osteen's got the sign. This is a big pitch. 7's going to be in play, 41 Hickman, and that's going to be a ground ball down to third base and handled at third. Bill Sudakis whips it across, and Osteen pitches out of another jam. Second, third, 1 out. So a hit and a walk, and the Cubbies leave 2. We're heading to the last inning, and the Dodgers clinging to a 1-0 lead. And Ernie Banks, or Fergie Jenkins, sorry, is going to be back out on the hill. Again, he's given up 2 runs or less, so he is still going to be fresh in the 9th, and he's going to try and ride this out. Get the complete game in, 8, and that's going to be tough to Bill Sudakis. And Sudakis, fly ball into center field. And Don Young, routine fly for him, 1 down. Wes Parker, the batter. Parker today has walked, singled, and flown out to center field. A decent day at the plate. And 11, yet another defensive check. And this will be an error check on the shortstop. And Kessinger, going to be no problem for him. He is a 5. That's as good as it gets. He takes care of that easily. Makes a tough play look routine. Whips it over to Banks. 2 down. And next, Dodgers send Ted Sizemore to the plate. Sizemore today has 1 for 3. Here comes a pitch from Fergie. That's going to be in play. And 17, make that 2 for 3 as he drives a single into left field. And the Cubbies get some action going in the bullpen now. Osteen, they're going to let him ride this out and try to get the complete game shutout, so no pinch hitter. Here comes a pitch from Fergie, and 8's going to be tough. 94, and 94, almost a single there. It's going to be a fly out to left field instead. So Fergie, sigh of relief, heads to the dugout, and we're going to the bottom of the 9th inning, folks, and the Dodgers clinging to a 1-0 lead behind the 5-hit pitching of Claude Osteen. And Bubba Husky has joined the chat. Welcome, Bubba. This is a tight game, been a classic pitcher's duel. The difference in the game was an 8th inning solo home run by Willie Davis, and that's where we stand. Dodgers lead this 1-0. Last chance for the Cubbies. And Randy Hundley going to get it going. Here comes a pitch from Osteen in play, and Hundley, he's going to drive that back up the middle, so clutch. A single to start the inning, and Osteen's been in trouble a couple of times, been able to pitch out of it. And pitcher spot's going to be due up after Don Young, so the Dodgers, or the Cubs, going to get a pinch hitter ready to go. And it looks like Adolfo Phillips is going to come out when Jenkins is going to be set to pitch or hit. Patient check, 67 to Don Young, and 67 just missed getting hit by a pitch there. Ground ball down to second base, and 2. That's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So Osteen comes up clutch again here in the bottom of the 9th, 2 down. And that brings up the pitcher spot, and we will have a pinch hitter. Adolfo Phillips steps in for the Cubbies. And their last chance here. It's been a heck of a game between Jenkins, and again, the Dodgers won this 4-2 in real life, but a good duel between Jenkins and Osteen. Osteen set to deliver. Here comes a pitch in play, 79, and that's your ball game, folks. A shallow fly ball to center field. Willie Davis comes in, taps the glove, and ball game over. So the Cubbies get a hit, but Osteen induces a 4-6-3 double play to erase that threat. And he goes a distance and outduels Fergie, a 6-hitter in this one. Great ball game. And your final score are going to be 1-0 Dodgers. Our final line score for the Dodgers, 1 run on 7 hits, 2 errors. The Cubbies, no runs, 6 hits, 1 error. And anything you would want in a old school pitching duel here. Both pitchers found themselves in trouble a couple of times, especially Osteen. Osteen had runners on third base twice with less than 2 outs, pitched out of it. And the winning run came rather dramatically. Fergie looked to be cruising along and was touched up by Willie Davis for an 8th inning solo blast. So that ends it. And our player of the game's got to be Claude Osteen in this one. He goes a distance, again gives up 6 hits. Just looks like a single walk and strikes out 8. So there we have it. Fergie Jenkins replay. He falls to 17-6 in this replay. His ERA will be still stellar, under 2. And we will be back to the next start. Good to get this back on the channel. It has been a little bit. So again, I had a couple of requests to pick this back up. So we're going to mix that in. And before we sign off, thank you so much for attending. Appreciate the support and everyone watching, guys. And again, support our great friends of the channel who are in the chat. Retro Sports Network, Al Red Sox fan, Phantomatic. A lot of good stuff out there in the community as we continue to try and get our community up to 1,000 subscribers across all channels. So we don't have to go through hoops and buy extra things like this camera to broadcast live. But it is what it is. Great community. Now, for Glory Days Boxing, we're going to have 2 fights coming up as we get ready to go down the road to release. First one up, the rubber match, Max Schmeling versus Joe Louis. And again, Schmeling kind of shocked the world when he took out Louis in their first meeting. Louis came back to blitz him in the second. And this was a very politically charged fight, despite the way race relations still were in America at that time. Joe Louis was absolutely beloved, and the entire country got behind him in that second fight against Schmeling. So this will be to decide superiority once and for all between these two, 1 fight each. That will be coming up. And a what-if fight that never happened, but many wanted to see. The greatest, Muhammad Ali, will be taking on Teofilo Stevenson. And Stevenson, again, this record here, the asterisk indicating this is all amateur fighting, but 302 wins against 22 defeats as an amateur. Amazing. 198 knockouts. So this was a fight people wanted to see back in the day. Never happened because of Stevenson's amateur status, of course, and the fact that the Cuban government would not let it occur. But it's going to happen now. So Muhammad Ali and Teofilo Stevenson, and this is going to be a 10-round bout since Ali is not our Glory Days boxing champion, but I believe the winner of this match may get a shot at the winner of the Jack Dempsey-Jack Johnson rematch. So I've never played this out in test. This will be played out for the first time live, so very anxious to see how this comes out myself. So that's what's coming up for the channel. A couple of fights with Glory Days Boxing as we head to our May road to release, available at sidelinestrategy.com. Schmeling and Louis, the rubber match, and Ali and Stevenson, the dream match. So again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be signing off. And until next time, keep it rolling for the fences, keep playing games, and I hope you all have a great Easter weekend. And the Schmeling-Louis fight will be tomorrow, a special Easter telecast of Glory Days Boxing. So until next time, take care, everyone, and have a great day. We'll see ya.